Hei hei cek one satu cek. Hei cek. Ini jelek banget nih kalau jatuh nih miknya. Ngerek banget miknya. Cek one satu. Cek satu dua tiga. Cek one satu cek. Satu cek cek. Satu dua cek. Cek one satu dua tiga. Cek cek. Cek cek. Cek one satu. Cek cek. Cek satu dua tiga. Cek satu dua cek. Cek one satu dua tiga. Cek 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 cek. Cek one satu dua cek. Ini turunin cek 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 cek. Cek satu dua tiga cek cek cek. Cek one satu cek 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 cek.
Strategic Forum, a talk show analyzing strategic issues and global perspective.
From Indonesia to the world.
Cek 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 2 3 1. Cek cek 3 3 2 1. Lo 1 1 3 2 1 lo. Cek 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 3 o 1 lo 1 2. Cek cek 3 3 3 2 2 1 2. Cek 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 3 2 1 lo 1 2. Cek 3 2 1. Bang Bani.
Tes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I would like to welcome our distinguished guests in today's event. The first one, charge the affairs of Malaysian Embassy in Jakarta, His Excellency Adlan Muhammad Shafiq. Representatives from the Indonesian Foreign Ministry. Epidemiologist Bapak Diki Budiman. The first commander of Wisma Atlet COVID-19 Emergency Hospital, Lieutenant Colonel Arifin. RRI Supervisory Board, RRI Board of Directors, and also the Director of Voice of Indonesia, Bapak Edi Ivan. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome. It's been an honor for us to present to you the 38th Diplomatic Forum organized by Voice of Indonesia, from Indonesia to the world. Our Diplomatic Forum is live broadcast through so many ways. The first one is our YouTube channel, VOI Indonesia, and also our Facebook fan page, The Voice of Indonesia. The other way is to visit our website, VOINEWS.ID. Ladies and gentlemen, today's Diplomatic Forum will be hosted by Daulat Pane, and will discuss a topic about global cooperation in overcoming the next wave of COVID-19 pandemic. In this Diplomatic Forum talk show, everybody joining in from our studio and also online, please feel free to join in and give us your questions and just ask it to our speakers. And now I would like to call the host of today's Diplomatic Forum, Daulat Pane. Daulat Pane is a senior journalist of Voice of Indonesia, the head section of program and production for American and European services at the Voice of Indonesia. He has been assigned at the Korea Broadcasting Service, or KBS, for 2 times, in 2006 and also 2015, and covered various national and international events.
Voice of Indonesia presents Diplomatic Forum. a talk show analyzing strategic issues and global perspective.
From Indonesia to the world.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as the MC already mentioned that today's diplomatic forum will discuss a topic on global cooperation in overcoming the next wave of COVID-19 pandemic. And this diplomatic forum is live broadcast on YouTube at Voice of Indonesia, Voi Indonesia, and also Facebook, The Voice of Indonesia. It can be also accessed through live streaming, www.VOINEWS.ID, and you can also join this program by sending your comments and questions via our Facebook fan page, The Voice of Indonesia. And today we have Mr. Adlan Muhammad Syafiq, welcome, as our speaker, and also Pak Diki Budiman joining us through Zoom. Hello, Pak Diki. How are you, Pak Diki? Good, thank you. And later will also join us First Commander, Pak M. Arifin. He is the commander of Wisma Atlet Emergency Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know that today more than 2 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccine have been administered worldwide. And according to the figures compiled by the Our World in Data website on Sunday, it means 2 days ago. So according to the site, China led the way with the highest number of doses, 763.07 million doses, followed by the United States with 300.27 million doses. As we know that vaccines are very much awaited by the world community because vaccine is a game changer. But I would like to know that all the people in this room, did you already get your vaccine? Already, some yes, but some maybe no, right? What about you? Have you got your vaccine? No yet. Maybe for people in my age, about 50, maybe yes. But for the people below, maybe they are waiting for their turn to be vaccinated. And while most of the people around the world are still waiting for their turn, a number of new variants of COVID-19 virus have appeared in countries such as UK, India, Africa, which are more easily transmitted, and it is feared that they could beat the current vaccine. So it means that still many people are waiting to be vaccinated, but the new variant of this virus have been a fear in some countries. So this is something wow. So some of these countries are struggling to cope with the next wave of COVID-19 in their own way. Some already in the second wave, some others maybe already in the third wave. We will discuss later with Pak Budiman. And in Indonesia, the first wave of COVID-19 has not yet been fast. I'm not sure about this. And Indonesia is currently trying to prevent the second wave of COVID-19. I would like Pak Budiman later whether he agrees with this or not. Efforts to overcome the next wave of COVID-19 pandemic are indeed very formidable challenge, and for these reasons, effective multilateral cooperation is needed. Pak Adlan, we will see how we would cooperate to handle this virus, also Pak Budiman. So no single country can solve the COVID-19 crisis on its own. I think we agree with this statement. The first questions, I would like to go to Pak Adlan first. Pak Adlan, how do you assess the world cooperation in handling, in tackling this COVID-19 pandemic. Please. Microphone on, please. May I have one microphone on this table?
Terima kasih, Pak.
So,
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
yes, you can start with the how is the handling, yes.
Thank you, Pak Daulat as moderator of the program, Bapa-bapa, Ibu-ibu yang terhormat, Pak Diki Budiman, Colonel Arifin, and first of all, let me convey our greatest appreciation to RRA for the invitation to attend this event and share some of our views in tackling the current pandemic of COVID-19. It is certainly an honor for us to be here, and personally it's an honor for us to also be a part of the panelists together with Pak Diki, all the way from Australia, I believe, yeah. Thank you, Pak Daulat, for the question. How do we view the current cooperation in tackling the pandemic? Maybe if I could share with you, if I could bring back 1 year ago, when the starting of the pandemic back in 2020, Pak, yeah?
Yeah.
We were informed by the WHO that the pandemic of COVID-19 in February or March, early 2020, and there was a rush of getting medical equipments, if you recall, yeah?
Yes.
Because at that time, Malaysia also did not have appropriate medical equipments. Personal protective equipment, the PPEs, we were lacking of PPEs. We didn't have enough face masks to cover ourselves. We didn't have enough hand sanitizers to keep our hands clean. And we do not know how the virus transmitted from one person to the other. So there was a lot of information which is lacking. There was also a lot of misinformation. So what we did was, the government decided to establish a task force. Number one, to inform the public that the coronavirus is something that should not be taken lightly. Secondly, we need to introduce SOPs, standard operating procedures, among the public. For example, what Indonesia is doing, introducing the 3M, wearing of masks, social distancing, and usage of hand sanitizers. So we introduced that. And thirdly, regarding the equipments, the medical equipments which we were lacking, that's where the multilateral cooperation comes in. We requested help from some other countries, bilaterally as well as internationally. The WHO, if you recall at that time, started and introduced COVAX facility. Yeah, the COVAX facility for us, for countries, especially developing countries, to join the COVAX facility. Some of the PPEs we got from the UAE. We got some ventilators from other countries as well. From China, we received a lot of face masks. And thankfully, Malaysia, we are the largest producers or manufacturers of medical gloves. So our responsibility is also to make sure that other countries, in particular less developed or developed countries, they also receive appropriate medical gloves. So we did our part in helping out multilaterally. I guess that is the global scenario. In fact, even the cooperation in the regional or ASEAN area, we saw that ASEAN established this COVID-19 fund for countries to contribute to the fund, whereby other countries can use the fund to purchase medical equipments and so on. Right now, it's more so important. Coming to 2021, it's even more important. Now we are moving forward. We have enough equipments, but we do not have enough vaccines. Especially countries like Malaysia, like Indonesia, we do not have enough vaccines. That's why our inoculation process is not as fast as we wanted it to be. And Malaysia, together with Indonesia, we are very supportive of looking into the waiver of intellectual property of vaccines, you know, to allow other countries to have access, and we can also produce our own vaccines. So I guess I will leave it at that for the moment, Pak Daulat.
Yes, thank you, Pak Adlan. Okay, I will be back later because I have some points here like Malaysia do not have enough vaccines for today, and it is not as planned. Okay, but before that, I will go to Pak Budiman. Hello, Pak Budiman. Yeah, Pak Budiman. Currently, several countries are experiencing second wave, and maybe some already in the third wave, but some are experiencing the fourth. Maybe I'm not sure that you know more about this. I think, Pak Budiman. Meanwhile, Indonesia is still in the first wave. Some people say like that. And when we will have COVID-19, I would say, well, we will have this COVID-19 ended. And when is the second can be said to be appear? Pak Budiman, do we already in the second wave, or we are still struggling at the first wave of this COVID-19? Please, Pak Budiman. May I have the audio for this, please? Yeah, please, Pak Budiman. Sorry, Pak Budiman, it seems that we have a problem with the audio. Can you unmute your microphone, Pak Budiman? Unmute. Yes? Okay, we are fixing this trouble. I'll go back to Pak Adlan. So, in Malaysia, do you think Malaysia is still in the first wave of this COVID-19 pandemic, or already moved to the second wave like in several countries?
Thank you for the question, Pak. I'm not sure which wave we are now, Pak. We do not know which wave we are now, but we had for this month, June and May, as you know, we also celebrated Hari Raya Aidil Fitri, Pak. So after the Hari Raya for the Lebaran, there was a spike of the statistics of those who were positive with COVID. And now we have reintroduced the movement control order because we know that the spread of the virus is from one person to the other. And to stop or to restrict the spread of the virus, we have to restrict the movement of people. So we had introduced the movement control order to stop or to restrict people from moving around from one place to the other. We have closed all of the shopping malls. Maybe one or two, the shopping malls we open, but we limit the number of person who can enter the shopping malls. We have prohibited
the number 50%, 25%. In Indonesia, there are a policy, I think for some areas, from some regions, they have 50% visitors.
It's similar to Indonesia. We restrict it to 50% so that it will not be too many people inside the malls.
Okay.
Because people will still need to buy their groceries and so on. So we are not stopping the people from going to purchase groceries. But all activities, mass gathering activities, religious activities, sports activities, cultural activities, we have stopped it altogether. Schools, we have not opened our schools yet. And we have not opened our universities yet. Even our government offices are closed, except for essential services. That one will still remain open. So going back to your question, I'm sorry I couldn't inform you whether it's the second wave or third wave. Some people say it's third wave, some people say it's the second wave, but most importantly is how we deal with the increasing number of positive COVID cases.
Okay, thank you, Pak Adlan. Maybe it is okay to say it is the next wave. Okay. Yeah, Pak Budiman, back to Pak Budiman, Diki Budiman. May I have the audio for this? Yes, please. We are still trying to fix. Okay. It seems that we are trying to fix the problem with the link with Pak Budiman, especially for the audio. Yes, for our guests here, okay, the floors of the students. So, do you have something to ask, or do you agree to say that Indonesia is still in the first wave of the COVID-19 pandemic? If yes, raise your hand. Do you agree to say that Indonesia is still in the first wave of COVID-19 pandemic? If yes, raise your hand once again. 1, 2, okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yes, so we are really in the first wave? I'm not sure. So why do you think that we are in the first wave? May I have a microphone on that table, please?
Okay, good morning.
Yes,
Mr. Doa.
mention your name, please.
My name is Vigo.
Vigo?
Vigo.
Okay. We
Using Victor.
Oh, Vigo.
Yeah.
Okay, Vigo from.
UPN Veteran Jakarta.
Okay. So, Vigo, why do you think that we are still in the first wave of COVID-19 pandemic?
I think that we are still in the first wave of COVID pandemic because on the statistic that we look on various sources that we only touch one peak of cases of COVID-19 in Indonesia, and we don't yet to see another peak of cases of COVID-19 in Indonesia. That's why I said that I think that Indonesia is still on the first wave of COVID-19, and maybe I will address too that we are still struggling too on this first wave, and we have to prepare more for the second wave that maybe will come in the next time. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Atau pakai ini aja WA. Pakai WA aja suaranya.
Okay. It's already fixed. Pak Budiman, can you hear my voice?
Iya, iya.
Okay. One more. That pretty woman. Pretty lady. Okay. Oh, no? The other. Okay. Mention your name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. My name is Zoltan. I am also from
Sorry?
the same.
Volkan?
Zoltan with a Z.
Zolkan.
Zoltan, yes.
Zolkan. Okay, Zolkan.
Yes, from the same institution as my friend was. So I think that yes, we are still in the first phase of pandemic because the numbers, yes, the numbers are getting low. The numbers are decreasing. However, we have not actually reached the peak where the COVID cases are actually have been stabilized, you know, because there's this problem that is also persevering in Indonesia. One of them is that the lack of rapid testing. So there is this inequality of this testing that has not been fully spread into the whole region of Indonesia because there not all of our regions are covered by this testing. So there is this belief or prediction that the numbers of COVID cases are actually much more higher than it is actually being presented. So yeah, that is why I believe that we are still in the first phase of pandemic. Thank you.
Okay, so you want to say that the number is low because the testing process is not spreading around the countries like that. It's not maximum yet.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Okay, still fixing that voice. I will back to Pak Adlan. So, talking about rapid testing or testing for the this. So, how is going on in Malaysia, or are there or any obstacles in doing this?
Of course, there are some obstacles, Pak, because I think similar to Indonesia.
Gimana?
Ini katanya mau dicoba lagi dulu pakai Zoom lagi, Pak.
Can I have this voice out of this room while we are discussing this? You can check your voice out there. Okay, please, Pak.
Or rather, I think Indonesia faces a more challenging situation because number one, we face problems geographically. Because as you know, Pak, there are some society, orang asal ya, orang asli ya, orang asal. The indigenous people.
Yes.
The indigenous people, orang asli. They are living deep inside the forest. So for us to bring them out, it will take probably 1 week for them to go out from the forest and then to get vaccinated. And as you know, the vaccines that we are using, essentially we are using Pfizer, we are using Sinovac, which we need to apply 2 doses. The first dose and then the second dose after 2 weeks.
Yes.
So it's very difficult for them to travel in and out. So that is one problem that we face, yeah, the geographical problem. The second problem is about information, because in Malaysia there is still some disinformation that is going around. They say that there are some people who doesn't believe in vaccination. They say that it's okay, you don't have to get vaccinated because your body will eventually be immune to the virus. But I'm not a scientist, I'm not a health practitioner, but the advice by the WHO and even our ministry, we want to ensure to achieve the immunity of the population. We need to get everyone vaccinated, or at least 70% of the population to be vaccinated. So those are some of the issues that we are facing, and the problems that we are facing. And the third problem, I think it is similar to all of the developing countries, as well as Indonesia. The problem that we have, that I mentioned to you earlier, the access to vaccine. We are not getting access to vaccines as fast as we want to. But of course, we need to work harder multilaterally and regionally. We will try our best to also work with WHO to get vaccines much faster.
Okay, so how is the campaign is going on there to ensure that people, maybe not the indigenous ones, but the people living in, just say, in cities, that they really need these vaccines? Then this vaccine is not dangerous, and they have to be vaccinated. Yes, we know that. I also ever met some people who said that I don't need that vaccine. I'm strong. Look, the COVID-19 pandemic has been more than 1 year, but I'm still okay. Some people say like that, especially the young ones. I don't know, the young people here in this room. So, is there any, campaign that to make sure that people really need to be vaccinated?
Yeah, thank you, Bapak. Yes, there are some campaigns that we have been doing, especially in the mainstream media. For example, our Ministry of Health have been doing continuous public service announcements why vaccination is important. And there are some explanation being done by the Ministry of Communications as well. A fact-checking address the issue of what the vaccine is all about, to address vaccine misinformation.
Okay.
So we are doing that. We are also mobilizing targeted teams to be mobilized at targeted communities, including what you mentioned, Pak, the orang asli,
Yes.
The low-income neighborhoods, because some of the low-income neighborhoods, they don't have access to internet. So a lot of information that we have conveyed through the internet, through the social media, they don't have access. And the teams are also being targeted to some of the migrant communities. We have a large migrant communities in Malaysia as well. So what the government has done, or what the government has committed, the Malaysian government has committed to inoculate everyone in Malaysia, the citizens of Malaysia as well as non-citizens in Malaysia. So it's important for us to go down to the ground, identify which area that these people are staying at, and then explain to them that this is important and it's going to be given free of charge.
Okay.
That is what we're doing.
The ambassador of Malaysian once was here in this room at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, and then he said that there was no different treatment both for Malaysians and migrant in Malaysians. Is that true, Pak Adlan, right?
That's totally true, Pak. I mean, you mentioned earlier in the program, we can only be safe when everyone is safe.
Yes.
So vaccination should be for all, and that in that spirit, it should be also taken into consideration in the international community. So our partners from other developed nations, for example, that's where we are hoping that they would also look into providing us with vaccinations, easy access, equitable access.
Okay, I'll be back, Pak Adlan. I also want to make sure what else our link with Pak Diki Budiman already, or Pak Arifin in Wisma Atlet. Do I already have connection?
Hello, hello.
Yeah, hello,
Yes.
Pak Diki.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it clear now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. Pak Diki Budiman, do you still remember my question?
Yeah, yeah.
I
of
hope
course.
so. Okay,
Yeah.
please.
So, very clear, and we are still in the first wave of our pandemic. So, when we measure whether we are still in the first or already to reach the peak, we have to see the growth rate in epidemiology. So the growth rate of our pandemic still in positive way. So it's mean we are still in the first wave. But now we are approaching the peak of our first wave, which is we estimate and predict it's end of this June and until maybe early of July. I already discussed this prediction with the Ministry of Health since before, I think on February or March this year. So that's why we have to mitigate, because our peak will be very painful if we don't prepare well. And we predict the case will be range like 50,000 a day until 1,000 a day. And maybe will be worse if we don't mitigate very very strong in every level of government. And I also want to raise that in Indonesia, based on my 23 years experience working with the government, we don't have the term for indigenous people in Indonesia. We don't have that term. Everyone is Indonesian. So there is no indigenous, no non-indigenous. Everyone is Indonesian. So that's for sure. It's mean that everyone will be treated equally. And in terms of this pandemic, we have to also consider that because we are an archipelago country, so it's mean we have to make a very proper plan in each island, in each district, because the local context will contribute very, very strong in the response of the pandemic. That's for my first comment, Daulat.
Okay, Pak Diki Budiman, as you said that the peak will be June to July, right?
Yes.
So we are already past the first week of June. So how
Yes.
how is you see the spreading of this COVID-19 in Indonesia? Because
So now-
in some regions, like in East Java, as you know, the number of these cases are rising and rising.
Yeah. So now we already seen this sign from many district and region, especially in Java Island and Bali. And unfortunately, because the low level of our intervention in term of testing, tracing, so the majority of cases still not identified yet and still not emerged yet, but they're already there. For sure, they're already there, because we have to also see the data that almost 80% of Indonesian, especially in the majority Indonesian now it's in Java Island, 80% of Indonesian, the health-seeking behavior, they prefer to treat themselves at home when they sick, especially during this pandemic because of stigmatization and also because of the some of their limitation, financial and etc. And their fear also, and miscommunication also. Previously already mentioned about infodemic. So this is the main problem in developing country like Indonesia, because then the problem will be appear in home, at house. So that's why the household cluster will become the majority cluster during COVID-19 pandemic. So the response should be in every region, every district. They have to have this community outreach. They have to have the program to visit the house with cadre or with the health personnel. But due to the limited number of our health personnel, we have to involve the cadre, the local leader to also help to identify the case or the probable case at home. And also, since last year, I already raised the strategy to the government that at least we have the clinic at the village or community level, which can also provide them with the communication, with the some advice, because we know in Indonesia the testing is very privileged, and I mean, especially in rural area, this testing is not easy to reach or to be accessed because for some reason, like maybe the limited capacity of laboratory and also about the financial and everything. So that's why this clinic can help the community at least to identify whether they are in probable case or maybe they are in the first line of the close contact with the of confirmed case. So the main intervention, which is very important for COVID-19, is isolation and quarantine. The more effective isolation and quarantine, when someone already, let's say, come to this clinic and say, I think I already contact with someone who already confirmed positive. So the cadre or the health personnel there can directly advise that these people should be quarantined or isolate, whether independent or centralized by the local government. So that's very important intervention that every government should do. Just three hours ago, I interviewed by the Vietnam journalists and also from Thailand. They also asking about, because Vietnam changed the strategy about quarantine and isolation. I told them that the minimum quarantine should be 14 days. It's not no exception for every country, except if you have been vaccinated. So it's been maybe, because Vietnam now will choose maybe 5 to 7 days. I told them it's okay as long as you already got vaccination and fully vaccinated, not only one or first jab, and also within the first 3 months after you fully or got fully vaccinated. So again, we have to very clear about this situation. We are still in the first wave and reaching the peak of COVID-19, which mean we the government also need our support in terms of to minimize the impact of this peak, because then we have I mean the community should do this 5M, 5M, and every level of government should strengthen their 3T, testing, tracing, etc. So this is the main point when we already know that we are reaching the peak. And of course, there's some also preparation or mitigation in health system about the bed isolation, the ICU, the ventilator, and etc.
Okay, thank you, Pak Diki Budiman. Okay, I will stop on there. I'll be back later after this.
This diplomatic forum is brought to you by Voice of Indonesia.
From Indonesia to the world.
Well, listeners, before back to Pak Diki Budiman, we have something on the screen.
Good afternoon. Talking about the lockdown is there's many aspects of a lockdown that could create different opinions. My opinion is that it's unfortunate that you're pretty much not in control of your daily life, because you are controlled by what the government stipulates that you could or could not do. So that makes it hard to take, as we as humans are supposed to be living creatures of accommodating each other and helping each other and supporting each other, and that is with this lockdown that's been taken away. So that personal freedom of enjoying company and getting together, having a meal or sharing some wonderful discussions is been taken away through this lockdown. So thank you very much, and hope everybody is safe.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it is almost the same like Pa Avlan said that this problem is not personal. This should be, tackled together because I'm okay, but maybe the other people is not, right? Okay, I'll back to Pa Diki Budiman. Yeah, but before that, I will say hello to Ibu Erlina Burhan. Hello, Ibu Erlina. Okay, maybe we have a problem with this link. Yeah, Pak Diki Budiman, as you
Yes.
said that we have problem with the clinic. Don't you think that this already taken by the what we call Puskesmas, the community health center in areas?
Yeah, but Puskesmas already done very, very hard job during the pandemic. But we have to settle the clinic outside of Puskesmas because Puskesmas has many jobs to serve the community. During pandemic, people need still take care about their child. Of course, of some pregnancy also should be monitored, the diabetes and etc. So that's why the concept of this clinic is very important, because then the collateral effect of the pandemic can be prevented since the early of pandemic and since the beginning, because the function of these community health centers still can run well. That's the problem with India now, because then they forgot to settle this, and actually in the early phase of the pandemic they already settled, but then they overconfidence during the early of this year. So that's why the second wave is more severe than the first one. And that's why, again, actually the PPKM, the strategy already running quite well by the government, should be strengthened by also establishing this clinic, and also strengthening the testing and tracing intervention. So this is still not late yet to implement it, because the end of pandemic still, I think for Indonesia, maybe mid of next year. That's the fast scenario. But it's mean during this time until next year, we still will face many challenges and threat. Maybe it's second wave, third wave, especially because the new variant already emerged in many places.
Yes, and talking about this new variant, we already have here in Indonesia, I think, two of them, B117 and B1351. Is that a challenge for us, Pak Diki?
Very serious challenge and threat for Indonesia, because as we know, our capacity in surveillance is very limited, and especially with the genomic surveillance. And unfortunately, this genomic surveillance will be needed by every country to have a very strong or have a good mapping on the pandemic situation. And in the other side also the conservative or conventional surveillance also is still in we have to strengthen more. And of course, what we see now in many regions is the increasing case of case in hospital and facility, health facility. The one who lead this factor is because the factor who lead this situation is the new variant.
Okay.
But I have to say that the new variant, which we have to very serious, or we have to very concern, is the Delta variant, or the variant who first detected in India.
Yeah.
And this variant probably expected will influence our pandemic situation maybe on mid of July or end of July.
Okay.
Currently, we still influenced by the Alpha variant, the one who you already mentioned, previously named B117.
Yes.
So there will be another threat from the Delta variant, because I have to remind all of us that the Delta variant has a very serious threat, because they are more easy to transmit, and also it seems the viral load is higher than
Okay.
Other variants. And also in Taiwan is the example of how serious this variant can
Okay,
affect the country.
I'll be back later, Pak Diki Budiman. Okay, it seems that we're already joining with Ibu Erlina Burhan. Hello, Ibu Erlina. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Hello, Ibu Erlina.
Hello.
Can
Hello,
I have
good morning.
Can I have Ibu Erlina on the screen, please? Yeah, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Ibu Erlina. Okay.
Okay,
Yes. How are you, Ibu Erlina?
I'm fine, thank you.
Still busy?
Of course,
Of course. Okay.
it's even more busier than before.
It is even more busier than before. Why? Can you tell us, Bu Erlina, why you are more busier today than before?
Yeah, I think you already know that the increasing number of new incidents in Indonesia is increasing, and also now in Jakarta, even though it's not as bad as other places, but the visit of the hospital now is increasing. So that's make our team are very busy right now.
Yes, so the number is increasing. So, Ibu Erlina, when you were talking about numbers, this is talking about how we handle, how we tackle this issue, and then about the people's or the community awareness about the importance of doing what we have 3M, or now we're already 5M. So how do you assess about the what we are doing with with this? I mean, tackling this problem and the people, the community's awareness about this.
I think I would like to say that the implementation of the prevention are not so optimal in nowadays. Even the 3M or the
Okay. Seems that we have a problem. Okay. Yes. Pak Arifin is already in joining us in Zoom. Not yet. Okay, Pak Arifin. How are you, sir? Hello. May I have the audio? for Pak Arifin? Pak Arifin? Is already unmute, Pak Arifin? The microphone is already unmute. Okay, it seems that the communication with Pak Arifin should be fixed. Yeah, Pak Diki. Yes, Pak Diki. Back to Pak Diki. As you said that it is dangerous and it is a serious threat for us, the B117 and also B1351. So the same questions to Ibu Erlina. So how do you assess the process of tackling these and then the community's awareness on the dangers of this? Pak Diki. Seems that also we have an audio. Okay. I will be back, Pak Budiman, later. Ibu Erlina, already fixing with the audio, Ibu Erlina? No yet? Not yet? Okay, I'm back to the forum here in the studio, in this room. Back to the vaccination. You are guys, young people. Before we heard here in this room that there are people are believe to this the importance of the vaccinations, but there are still some people who do not believe about vaccination. So I would like to hear the voice of young people, especially students who are in this room today. So raise your hand if you want to say your opinion about this. Do you believe in this vaccination? Or you do not believe it because you're still young, then you think that you are strong enough to fight this virus. Okay, may I have a microphone? One microphone on this table, please. Okay, let me. Thank you.
Test.
Okay.
My name is Raisha.
Raisa.
Raisha.
Raisa. Okay,
I'm
Raisa.
from Al Azhar University
Al
of
Azhar.
Indonesia.
Okay.
I would say I am strong enough as a young guy, but I do still think that vaccination is really important for us because talking about the worst case, if we get transmitted by the virus, of course, vaccine will really help us to get better soon, really fast. And yeah, I do think that vaccine is really important, and I believe in vaccination. And I hope the young guys, I hope we get the vaccination soon.
Okay, so
Thank you.
you want to be vaccinated, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I have the other one here.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. My name is Bimo Putra. I'm from
Bimo.
Bimo.
Bimo, okay.
Bimo Putra from UPN VJ, UPN Veteran Jakarta.
Okay.
Okay. I really do believe that we need to be vaccinated as soon as possible, but as the young guys, we do not have any fear, especially we who had good health condition, not any uh, historical disease, like something like that. But I do have a concern that it's, for example, it's my own families, the member of my families, have this knowledge of there are many news regarding that someone who has a bad health condition will get what is it called complication because of the vaccine. That fact become really concerning for the old people, so to say, because this this kind of thing.
Old people, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
it's okay.
yeah, because but I think there should be something like a legit information that being held, like maybe an event to persuade this guy to persuade this kind of old people, so to say, but to believe that vaccine will help them, because it do become my concern, because my own family members didn't want to take the vaccine because they scared about the disease that they already have in their body.
So this is a misinformation.
Yes,
right? Okay.
regarding this misinformation. But even though I already tried to persuade them, but without any legit information, or maybe from the government itself, it becomes hard.
Okay.
So
Since this is about cooperation, I mean that between the government, not only between the government and the community, but also government among governments of the world, I think. So what do you think about the cooperation between Indonesian government and the community to raise, like you said, that your family maybe getting misinformation about this vaccination? So to raise the people awareness that this vaccination is really important for people. So how do you see or evaluate the cooperation between already the government and the community?
okay, I think what needs to be done is a better socialization, because with this ongoing agenda, with a lot of people tends to believe on misinformation. So I think the better socialization will become an answer, especially in the big media like television, radio, or something like that, because this whole misinformation was really concerning to me. So to have a better socialization from the government will be very beneficial for the society.
Okay, so what do you think about the role of the media?
The role of the media? Yeah, because the media right now tends to the purpose of the media itself was to as an information thing, for the society. But a lot of media tends to only have a purpose of reaching the they're using taglines such as if you're using this vaccine, either it's Sinovac or Pfizer, there will some complication, and this is to get more clicks and to get more eyes. So I think there have to be a regulation for the media to have a proper information to just so that they can scare the society, because there's a lot of article about the complication, but something like that. But the tagline itself was really, really scared. Okay, was really a scary tagline. Okay, but if we actually look into the article itself, they actually explain it. Okay, but not a lot of people really read the articles, the whole articles. So I think we should have something that will regulate the tagline itself, because some people just read the tagline. Not every people read the whole articles, okay? So yeah, the media should not just wanted to get more click, but also give a proper information.
Okay.
For the education. Thank you.
And as students, you also have to be wise, okay, to choose which media do you want to read or to listen or to watch, right? Bimo? Yes. I back to Pak Adlan. Hello, Pak Adlan. Yes. In our first conversation this morning, I heard that Malaysia is implementing a lockdown until June 14. Yes. So what will be done after June 14?
Yes, the lockdown is to prohibit people from traveling. Those who wish to go out, they can only do so within a 10-kilometer radius, because people will still need to go shopping, to buy groceries, to buy their provisions. If they go out without mask, they will be penalized. They have to pay 1,000 ringgit, which is equivalent to 230 US dollars.
Yes. Did you say 100?
1,000 ringgit.
Ringgit.
Yeah,
1,000 ringgit means that almost 4 million, I think, right? Million rupiahs.
3.3 million.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
3.3 million rupiah.
Okay.
If
It's
they
a big
get caught
money.
to go, yes. So everyone who goes out, they have to wear a mask. After 14th of June, they will relax the movement conditional order. They will allow people to move around without any hindrance. The 10-kilometer radius will no longer be there. But for an individual to travel across states, there might be some prohibition there, because we still do not allow or do not want people to cross states. We have several states, because we still need to control the pandemic is still very high.
Okay, so if more than 10 kilometers, they have to be...
they need to go to the police station.
Police station.
And request a form. They have to fill in the form.
Okay.
And inform the police the reason why they want to travel outside of the 10-kilometer radius.
Okay.
Because there will be checkpoints, and they will need to provide the checkpoints with the form from the police station.
Okay.
If the police is not satisfied, they will ask you to turn back. If the police is satisfied, then they will allow you to go.
Okay.
So that's how the process works in Malaysia.
Wow, only 10 kilometers. Can you imagine? You travel yesterday on Sunday. You went to where did you go? Sunday. Sorry?
Only 2 kilometers
Oh,
from my
only
home.
2 kilometers. So you do not need to report to the police, right? Did someone go more than 10 kilometers?
Hello?
Yes.
Did you mean today?
When? This week?
Well, actually, I travel from Bekasi all the way here.
Okay.
So
Bekasi,
I don't know how
but
much that distance is, but it's very far.
40 kilometers, maybe, right?
Maybe around something along those numbers, but
Okay.
yeah, I travel a lot of distance. But I am not positive COVID. It's okay. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Thank you, Vimo. Yes. Before we go to the next segment, let's enjoy this one. Yes. Do we have Vox Pop for this? Yeah. Okay. I'll be back to on the screens. Can we get an audio for this? No? Okay. Before we come to the end of this program, I would like to give the opportunity for the young people here to raise questions to our speakers, or maybe to Pa Adlan from Malaysian Embassy. Yes, please. What's your name?
Okay, thank you. My name is Muhammad Salman. I'm student from Universitas Al Azhar Indonesia. Bismillah.
Salman, right?
Naam, naam. Yes.
Salman.
Yes, my name is Salman.
Nam.
Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Talking about the handling of COVID, we see that the global handling of COVID is divided into two ways: the bold one and the relaxed one. It's my personal opinion.
Sorry, what one?
The bold one.
Bold one.
And the relaxed one.
Okay.
For example, in Malaysia, at the beginning of this pandemic, Malaysia was in a middle of political crisis, if I'm not wrong, with the abdication of Prime Minister Tun Mahathir and the rise of Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. But still, Malaysia has boldly set a lockdown policy. And in Indonesia itself, it hasn't. The question is, what are the considerations for a country like Malaysia to boldly adopt a total lockdown policy in the midst of the situation, while in our country has not yet implemented a full lockdown until now?
Okay.
Perhaps this is the question.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Salman. Nam. Okay, Pak Adlan. The total lockdown. Your question is about the total lockdown, right?
Total lockdown. Yes. You are right. We experience a political situation in Malaysia in February. But what we did was, when the WHO announced COVID-19 as a pandemic, the government handed over authority how to handle the pandemic to the Ministry of Health, led by the Director General of Health. Until now, the actions or the proposal, the SOP, is led by the Director General of Health of Malaysia. So the Director General is a public servant. He is not involved in politics. So in a way, it's good because the government handed over power or authority to a professional. He's a doctor, Dr. Hisham, the DG of Health in Malaysia. So I think that's number one. Number two, I couldn't, depending on different situation, different environment, different countries, the lockdown that Malaysia had undertaken, because we felt that it is an important step to take to stop to prevent the virus from spreading. I cannot say about Indonesia, but I think and I feel that Malaysia has only a population of 32 million. Yeah, compared to Indonesia, you have 275 million. So that is really a very difficult logistics to enforcement all over the country is very, very difficult. So maybe that might you may see that as one of the consideration why the different aspect is being taken, by the government.
Okay, is it clear, Salman? Can you get the point? Okay. Yes. Can we get already the audio from our panelists in Zoom? Yes. Okay, Ibu Erlina.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Bu Erlina.
Yes.
The question is, how do you assess the global community cooperation in tackle this COVID-19 pandemic at this moment, at present? Because in some country, they are still in the first wave, but in some others, they're already in the second or maybe the third, even the fourth wave of this pandemic.
Okay. it is very clear if the number of cases is increased, meaning that there are some parameter that not being done properly, which is in this case is the health protocol. I would say that the comply of our community is not that good for this health protocol. We we are seeing many of community that are not wearing masks in many region of Indonesia, and also there are still a lot of activity that crowd is there. So no social physical distancing, and there are a lot of activities that not comply with the appropriate health protocol. So this is one of the things that lead to the increasing number of the cases, and yet also the coverage of our vaccination is not that good. You know that the coverage of our vaccination is less than 10%, which is not a good news. If we refer to the situation in the US, where the coverage of vaccination is more than 70%, nowadays they are not wearing masks. So I think we need to develop a comprehensive effort in order to make people willing to be vaccinated, and the coverage is also can be achieved in timely manner. Otherwise, we cannot avoid this. You can call it a second wave or third wave, but I don't know about this wave. But I just want to say that the number is still increasing, and we're not yet finished with this pandemic. It's still going on. So if you want to get rid of this pandemic, so please do the health protocol properly, and also please do vaccination.
I think everyone in this
That
room
is
already
my
listened.
concern.
Okay, everybody in this room already listened, and those who joining in this Zoom is already listened that please follow, obey the 3M, or even we already have the 5M. Is that right, Ibu Erlina?
Yes.
Yes,
And
okay.
also motivate yourself to be vaccinated, and also the family and other community.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Erlina. Yes?
Because vaccinated has the
Okay, thank you. So, can I have Pak Diki on the screen?
Yes.
Yes, Pak Diki. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
We are coming to the end of this dialogue, actually. So, just a kind of closing statement from you. So, what we should we do talking about this global community to tackle this pandemic?
Yeah, for global health security perspective, yeah, as the researcher in this field, I can say the COVID-19 pandemic already also show that we are as human very weak when we don't have the global collaboration to handling this pandemic. Not only global, but even at regional, as the one who already worked for ASEAN Secretary at least 5 or 6 years ago, I can see even at the ASEAN level, we still have to strengthen our collaboration. During pandemic HIV, ASEAN has shown to the world as one of the region who can collaborate very strong and effective, and every country has every country follow the same and similar strategy, and we cannot see this during the pandemic COVID-19, as what the one question from the audience raised about Malaysia doing this lockdown, Indonesia didn't. do it. It is not only about the number of population, but also it's about the strategy that we still have to have the common strategy, which is also will help our region to deal with the pandemic, because we have to also see the Europe and also the like say the Western Pacific country who has their common strategy, and this is also will also lead us as the region to have the travel bubble, to have the recovery in our economy aspect. So this, my main message is that through this meeting that we have to strengthen our collaboration, at least at the regional, before at the global level, because we are now, since the very serious alarm, especially in the region, due to the new variant. So it's mean we cannot handle only by Malaysia or by Indonesia. We have to collaborate to deal with this.
Okay.
And within the country, again, as Dr. Elina already mentioned, we have to fear to the disease, not to the vaccination, not to the what the government already done with the testing and tracing, but we have to very put the very serious action to the disease, which is we have to do the 5M and also support the 3T government program. And my last, then everyone has very important role. As we know, pandemic started by 1%. So everyone has their very important role to help the community, to help the country to deal with the pandemic. Through what? Through 5M. That's my last message. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Diki Budiman. And Pak Arifin, may I have on the screen? Pak Arifin?
Yes. Yes. Hello?
Yeah, Pak Arifin. So, maybe this is, it is coming to the last statement actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know you are very busy today. Since the numbers is increasing already, right?
Yes.
Pak Arifin, how do you evaluate or assess the global community at present to fight this pandemic? Because as Pak Diki Budiman and also Pak Dr. Erlina Burhan already mentioned that we cannot work by ourselves, so we need to cooperate. Yes, Pak Arifin.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for the time. And then first, I will give little information about the number of increase from emergency COVID-19 emergency hospital in Wisma Atlet Kemayoran. Until now, increase until 52 for bed occupation rate in here. So the last week is increase from the last, after Barak increase until now, and then my patient here is 3,200 patient here. And about
can you repeat, Pak Arifin? How many?
Yes.
Can you repeat? 2,000?
Maybe until now 3,000.
3,000.
3,200 patient for update today until 6 p.m. in the morning.
Okay.
The update. So this is an increase from 8 Mubarak, after 8 Mubarak, increase until 35%.
Okay.
This is can say that after holiday or long holiday, I have notes that always increase after 2 weeks or 3 weeks after long holidays in Indonesia. It's maybe how to handle and how to manage the holiday. I think this is important to handle how increase or decrease confirmed positive in Indonesia. And then about global health security, I think I agree with Mr. Diki said that we can do by myself, by one country. So we have joint and collaboration, international collaboration between countries, because to handle pandemic in the world, nothing. I think all countries must be doing together to handle pandemic. So the regional handle and then for global need join together with countries. I think how to handle pandemic in the world, the case is cooperation, international cooperation between countries in the world. I think there's keys to handle and to make how to handle pandemic in the world. Maybe I think that's it for my.
Okay, thank you, Pak Arifin. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Stay strong, Pak Arifin.
Yes.
Okay.
Keep fight.
Fight.
Keep fight.
Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our program for today. And thank you very much for our panelists, Charge Affairs of Malaysian Embassy in Jakarta, Pak Adlan Muhammad Safiq. Thank you very much, Pak Adlan. And also Pak Diki Budiman, epidemiologist, who is now still in Australia, I think. And also Dr. Arlina Burhan, pulmonology and respiratory specialist at Persahabatan Hospital. And First Commander, yes, Ibu Erlina. Thank you very much, Ibu Erlina. Stay strong, Ibu. Okay, stay strong. Okay, keep healthy. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. And also First Commander, M. Arifin, head of Wisma Atlet Emergency Hospital in Jakarta. And also I would like to thank you, our guests in this room, students from UPN, Al-Azhar, and the others. And also don't forget, I would like to also to say thank you very much to the team. Stay strong, team. Work together. Okay, I'm Daulat Pane. Thank you very much.
You've just listened to Diplomatic Forum organized by Voice of Indonesia.
From Indonesia to the world.
Terima kasih.